I actually do know someone who needs to hear this. How about we don't encapsulate live animals into our nail sets?
I absolutely could not believe what I was hearing, so I had to go look for the lady. And yes, there is a lady on TikTok that was encapsulating live animals into her nail sets. Let's get into this mess. Oh no! Full disclaimer, this video will be mentioning and also will be viewing some animal cruelty, unfortunately. So if you are a die-hard animal lover, please make sure that you don't watch this video. It ain't for you. It really isn't for everybody, but it is for educational purposes only. Another thing, if I sound funny, I had sinus infection, but I'm getting better. Now this lady goes by the name of Amori Acrylics, and she does very good nails, honestly, in my opinion. Okay, some of them are a little questionable, like, you know, it's probably custom, but for the most part, her work is absolutely amazing. And I'm guessing she wanted to take her artwork to the next level, and I'm all for expressing yourself when it comes to nail art, but when it comes to live animals, you're pushing it, buddy. You're really pushing it, because it starts small and then it gets bigger and bigger, and I mean that intentionally. Now this video is her just showing her inspiration from airheads, and she's twisting it and making it her own, which I absolutely support, especially when it comes to nails. I love unique nails. Spoiler, I'll be getting some sets for myself, press-on sets that are unique to what we always talk about. So it won't be this month, it won't be next month, but stay tuned. Anyway, back to her. Very unique, very beautiful, very much a set that I would wear for a video. Definitely not to go outside, but at the same time, I appreciate art like this. Now fast forward, she wanted to take her artwork to the next level. Now if you're thinking next level, you would think, oh, maybe like bigger pieces. No, she wanted to encapsulate ladybugs. Yes, I know. I love ladybugs. So this was making me very upset.
Welcome back to part 2 of the live ladybug encapsulation nails. So here I am going in with top coat on all of the clear nails, and we're gonna go in and start drilling some little holes, because these will be the nails the ladybugs will be in. So I want them to be able to breathe. So
I never thought I'd hear someone say these are the nails the ladybugs would be in, and they're live ladybugs. Living and breathing creatures inside nails. So disgusting.
here I am doing that. And I was really filling the holes. Like, it looks so cute. I don't know. I like it. So this is how they came out, and I did add the back to it as well. Now we're gonna start on the French. I went in with some red. Yummy. Just looked like a fat cherry. So then I went in with green, because that's gonna be our leaf. Then I did some polka dots, looking cute. Went in with a little airbrush, and we did this line work. Drew some dots on there, and then I added the little ladybug features. Look at them, they look so cute. And then we got started on a leaf nail. Add a little vine, outline the front. And I added these mini leaves to the vine because it felt like something was missing. So now we're making the ladybugs 3D. I went in with some card, and I added 3D raindrop.
And this is where I personally would have stopped the 3D ladybugs, or actually make ladybugs and put them on your nails. But she was like, nah, I've already done things similar to this. I want to take it to the next level.
Well, look how cute. Did a little bling on my fingers, and then we got started on the ladybugs. Y'all, they did not want to go on this nail for the life of me.
I wonder why they didn't want to go in the freaking nail. I wonder why.
It was flying around. It was so hectic, but we made it work. So this is before the ladybugs and after. It's like a whole exhibit. I think these came out super adorable.
First of all, she has just created a coffin for those ladybugs. Now they can't breathe. Yes, you have the holes for them to breathe, but that is quite literally a chemical gas chamber you put them in because of the acrylic fumes. And also, you need to seal the acrylics, which you did not show because you probably knew that what you were doing was wrong. And what do you seal it with? UV lights, which is dangerous to humans, and I can only imagine how dangerous it is for the freaking ladybugs. Next thing, you squeeze them with the freaking tweezers, and you're like, oh, they were like struggling to go in. I wonder freaking why. You just broke the ladybug. You broke the wings, the outer wings, and the inner wings, which you might as well just freaking at that point, because you're causing so much trauma on that freaking ladybug, the ladybugs that you had in there. But pretty much don't do this, guys. Please, 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 please. There are so many ways to broaden your art pieces or whatever the heck you want to do. Just do not encapsulate animals. I never thought I would have to say that. Even the finished set, to me, just looked disgusting. You were better off making little ladybugs with clay or something instead of using live animals. That is crazy. And also what I want to add is you drilling holes, they now act like funnels for bacteria and moisture, which means that the animals are going to rot, the insect in this case. They're going to rot, they're going to mold, or they may even be fungus that can leak into your nail bed, creating a serious infection. But whatever, you probably didn't think of that when you were trying to get the aesthetics right of all this crap. Now, she did put out a statement. I'm not sure if it is before the ladybugs or after the ladybugs or after the next part that we're going to be talking about, but this is what she had to say. I tried to imagine myself doing other content that no longer involved insects, and I just can't do it, y'all. Not only would I be limiting myself from my full potential, which is absolutely crazy, but I wouldn't enjoy creating content knowing there's a certain area I can't touch because some people are too sensitive about it. Okay. Honestly, that's just life. I've seen a ton of posts I don't agree with, yet I never try to belittle anyone, so this says a lot about some of y'all's character. Yeah, it says a lot about your own character. That is just absolute. Are we being gaslit? This was my first mini let's cancel Amori, that's her name. So at the time, that seemed like the right solution to it, but no more. I will continue to stay true to myself and my craft no matter what. And if you don't agree with all of my craft, then maybe it's best for both of us. For you to unfollow. Okay, what? Anyway, to unfollow me and find a mediocre nail tech to follow because it won't be mediocre. All the other nail techs that aren't using live animals are mediocre. Y'all are lame, okay? In her eyes. And also for me to build up a team who truly gets it and has my back. This whole thing has made me want to go 10 times harder with proving myself to the world. Dang, haters really do motivate you, huh? Haters? Now, this post was deleted, but thank goodness people were able to capture it. She deleted it with the quickness. I'm sure it stayed up for less than 5 hours before she realized, oh wait, this is actually wrong. You just doubled down. Called other nail techs mediocre because they don't want to use live animals. Honey, this ain't an exhibit like you were saying. It kind of looks like an exhibit. It's not. No one wants to come view your nails. If anything, they're going to be concerned for the animals. And those animals had about 20 seconds. 20 seconds before they... Now you're walking around with a coffin. And another thing, at that point, it is very dangerous to let those animals go out into the nature because you've already covered them with fumes. You've already killed them pretty much. And I would really like to know what you did to the ladybugs after that video. Did you just put them among the other ladybugs after? Did you actually dispose of the set, or is it still sitting there and you're just proud of it? Because in a matter of seconds, it's going to start smelling. The next part of this was actually unbelievable. I could not believe my eyes. She encapsulated tree frogs.
I came across a video on my feed that said we can create animal sets without actually using animals. And then they shared their own artwork, which was phenomenal, by the way, of 3D sculpted frogs. And I was like, what are we talking about? Like not using animals? I feel like that's pretty obvious, you know what I mean? So I went to the comments for some context and I found someone who had put the name of the person who was actually doing this. And whenever I saw the video, I was fucking appalled. This person actually encapsulated frogs in their fucking nail. Actually encapsulated live frogs in her nail set. 4 fucking frogs. 4 frogs total. I don't give a single shit if they have holes in there to where they can breathe. Get them the out now. Why would you do this? Something else I don't give a shit about is that they probably took the frogs out immediately after doing all the content that they needed for the set. This is up. There have been some wild ass nail sets that I have seen. There have been some crazy trends. There have been some flops. This is a fucking flop because there's no way. In the video, they're moving around. They're like trying to like get out, obviously. Definitely missed the mark on this one. Let's not ever do this again. To anyone who thinks that it would be cool to do something like this with an insect or animals in general, don't fucking do it. Just don't do it. It's animal cruelty and bizarre. Why would you want to do that?
Honestly, when I saw the frogs, I could not believe it. I honestly could. The ladybugs are one thing. Frogs, Okay, now you're really taking it to that 10 times level that you were planning to take this at. Now I learned a thing or two because of this video about the tree frogs, and that is they don't just breathe with their lungs. They actually absorb oxygen through their skin, which means they're probably absorbing the chemicals that she's putting, which is acrylic, monomer, whatever, through their freaking skins, which also means you cannot let them loose into the environment anymore because other frogs are going to absorb the same chemicals. And yeah, y'all can think further from there. And also trying to squeeze them into those little freaking acrylic nails can cause their bones to break, can cause internal bleeding as well as organ damage. You're just doing too much. Too much, and it's honestly looking more like you're gonna lose clients than gain them, unless you just want to be a nail tech content creator where you don't actually take clients and you just do it for the views. I don't see how anybody would want to sit in your station. Also, frogs carry bacteria, parasites, and fungi, so encasing them doesn't sterilize them, it actually traps them. Now, I know the creator mentioned in the comments section that, oh, this was just for art and she wasn't actually going to put it in someone's hands or herself, whatever. It was just for a 5-minute video, which really just destroyed animals for no reason. First of all, don't let those animals out because now they're really going to cause diseases out there for other amphibians. But nail infection. It was already bad with the ladybugs, but it's actually worse with frogs or amphibians in general because rotting amphibian fluids equals instant breeding ground for staph, mold, as well as fungal infections right under your nails. So yeah. So when it comes to encapsulating tree frogs or frogs in general in nails, my goodness, it is absolutely a torture to the animal. It is dangerous for humans and it is absolutely terrible for the environment. So for all the mediocre nail techs she talks about, y'all are actually doing it the right way. There are other creators out there who use clay pieces or use the gels to make animals, and I think that artwork is absolutely beautiful. Not for 1 second did I ever think when I made my clay pieces, maybe I should just use a real frog. You could just do something like this. Now, obviously this guy is gonna be very big for your nails, but at a smaller scale, he'd be perfect. Now, I'm not sure of the timeline of her apologies. I'm just very sure of the very last one that we're gonna read here in a bit. But for now, we're gonna read the second one where she says, "Secondly, I've always been a very creative person. Some of you may not agree on how far I take my creativity, but unfortunately, that's just who I am. I saw a lot of comments saying it was animal," y'all see the word, "which I didn't agree with, considering the fact that they weren't smushed. Had multiple air holes and were only in the nail for approximately 5 minutes." Yeah, okay. But I'm not gonna go tick for tat and have a debate. You'll have the right to your own opinion, just like I have the right to my own. Unfortunately, due to all the backlash, I have decided to no longer do insect encapsulation nails. Is it? I'm still baffled at just that sentence. While I thoroughly enjoyed expressing my creativity to the fullest, I'm realizing it's bringing more negative feedback towards me than positive feedback. It's bringing a biohazard to your station. However, I am thankful of my supporters who defend me and understand the creative side of it from my point of view. Nevertheless, I'm gonna always keep it pushing. You should just stayed with your extremely creative designs that you had, the ones that I showed y'all in the very beginning. I mean, she has water coming out of a nail. Now, granted, it's a little 18 plus, but still, it's beautiful. I mean, your art is amazing. The only way to push it to the next level that I can think of, at least right now, I'm sure there's better options out there, but it's just making your art pieces stand out even more by enlarging them just a little bit. Y'all remember the apology letter that she did where she said she wants to go 10 times hard? There was a video of her dangling a mouse on her station. Now, where that video was going, I have no idea. I couldn't find the video. I just found a screenshot of the mouse being dangled. I don't know if she was trying to encapsulate the mouse, but if she was, that is Yeah, that is very terrifying. We're gonna get into the lady who has been the one to call this out. And there was a comment that said she also held a rat by its tail. Someone called the salon she works at in Florida and they don't care either.
Update, it's worse than what we thought there was. This is her dangling a mouse over her nail station because she's doing mice inspired nails. Now listen to this though. Someone said, yeah, let me stress out and risk harming an innocent animal for views. She said, I mean, I could have recorded feeding it to something instead. I'm sure that I would have got a lot more views. Are you actually kidding me? Then someone was trying to tell her, you know, you shouldn't be dangling by its tail because it's not good for it. She said, I'm aware, but I wasn't about to get bit. Or, and hear me out, you could have just not picked it up at all. Someone in my comment section said that she said she was going to continue to do it because it's her art. I didn't see that anywhere on her page. All of her responses were just snarky responses to people saying that this. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if she actually said that. I just didn't see it anywhere. I did, however, see that a bunch of people on the gram were tagging PETA. She does not care. This was addressing a comment that she had made about the ladybugs not wanting to go in the nail. They did not want to go in this nail. Obviously not. Her response, okay, that's a little funny. The one below it, I would have called State Board. This is completely unacceptable. Let's put you in a nail and see how you like it. And she said, girl, and put laughing faces. When I tell you she has no empathy, nothing. You can tell by all of her response. Another comment in regards to the ladybug nails. This also goes for the frog nails too, because she put holes in. She said, you must have thought that the holes were considerate. And she said, very much so. Girl, go straight to hell. This comment says that she's done ladybugs, ants, earthworms, and frogs. I didn't see the earthworms or the ants. Apparently there was a trend or something of people putting ants in nails. I don't know. I didn't see that. Glad I didn't, because that's weird. We can do fun art on nails without having to put live animals inside of these nails. Matter of fact, what pisses me off the most is she's really talented. She's really good at the art. She's really good at nails, period. And she does dumb shit like this and does not give a like I said, people were tagging PETA like crazy in her videos. Then people were also saying that they reported her to State Board. This person doesn't mention State Board, but they said that people were calling the salon that she works at and they don't give a either. So everyone who is okay with for continuing to do it and not giving a single lack of empathy is fucking weird. And the salon too, because why would you not care? What do you mean?
Now this was her last and final apology that she had pinned in her TikTok actually, and it says, hi guys, for those of you who may not know, I did a live frog encapsulation nail set almost a week ago and received a lot of backlash about it being animal cruelty. It was not to my knowledge that it was considered animal cruelty, come on, due to the fact that they were not physically harmed, had multiple air holes, and were only in small spaces for a short amount of time. However, I want to apologize to anyone who was upset by the post. My intention was never to cause harm or distress. The frogs were unharmed and handled with care, but I understand that my creative vision did not come across as intended. I truly value and respect all living creatures and will be more mindful in the future about how my art, creativity may be perceived. I also want to remind everyone that we've all fallen short or made choices in life we might rethink today. It can be easy to forget our own missteps before casting judgment or threats towards someone else who you know nothing about. I've been respectful. Yeah, okay. I can't even read that line. You haven't been respectful towards everyone despite the belittling, ignorant, hateful comments mentioned and DM. That's the thing. You're saying it's hateful comments. Are you saying the hateful comments are people worried about the animals? Because that's not hateful comments. That's people warning you of what you're doing and calling you out. All I can ask is that you guys return the same respect given to you. To all of my social nail tech besties, friends, and supporters, I truly thank you guys for standing by my side amongst all of this chaos and understanding both sides. I love you guys for life. I want to take this moment to thank all my Anti-Delulu members for always sticking with me and enjoying the early access videos and showing me love and support. I thank y'all so much and I appreciate you guys. I'm sure I'm gonna get different opinions about this video, but I am gonna be all for listening. Let me know what you guys think of it here in the comments section below, and I'll see y'all next time.